Raider.
Yeah, it's my turn to welcome everyone back. So we're back, as we stuck to our word. We said we would be back after the last one to talk about our first game. First game of the season, 3 points in the bag. I'm buzzing. How you feeling?
Excited.
Yeah. You want to say welcome to our viewers?
Welcome.
And our listeners.
Welcome, listeners, as well.
3 points in the bag, like I said. It's a good feeling. Every year when we start the season with a win, it feels good. Yeah, what did you think of it being Everton away? Because I was mad nervous, man.
Yeah, we always struggle against Everton away, don't we? So I don't think that we did extremely well either. Again, this time we managed to just clutch it. A lot of time wasting just saved us 3 points. So yeah,
It felt like a start of season game. It didn't feel like I don't know. These games always have a specific feeling. It always feels like an extended preseason game.
Yeah,
and yeah, I think we lacked a bit of cohesion, but that's to be expected. Obviously, so Arsenal played before us, Spurs played before us, Liverpool played before us. Arsenal and Spurs obviously picked up 3 points against whoever they were playing against, and Liverpool only mustered up a draw against our West London rivals. So
yeah, that's right, didn't they? Fulham,
yeah,
against Fulham, they did. Fulham played quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Quite impressed. And then the day before it was Arsenal versus
Palace.
Yeah,
Arsenal have looked good in pre-season. Yeah, I think they've addressed some key areas, which is, I mean, for them good. But yeah, I mean, overall, to just sort of bring the focus to our game today.
I'd just like to point out I had Zinchenko and Martinelli on my FPL, so not too upset about that
Not
result.
too shabby. Yeah, good. No, it's he's a good signing. He's obviously going to do a lot more of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Goodison Park is always one of those grounds where no matter when we go there, turns out to be, you don't know what you're going to get.
It wasn't even their full team though, was it? Because they didn't have Calvert-Lewin.
They didn't have Calvert-Lewin. They didn't seem like an Everton team that has a lot of like sort of strength. I mean, they've had like Richarlison and yeah. I mean, I'm struggling to think who they've really had in recent times who, Everton, like traditionally, like historically, they have had good players and they're not a team that you can take lightly. But yeah, it just felt a bit like, yeah, they lacked a proper centre forward because I think Rondon was injured. So
Gordon impressed me though. I thought he played
yeah,
quite well.
I thought this about Anthony Gordon last season as well. He's a very, very, very good player. But yeah, they lacked any sort of presence up front, but they made up for it, down the sides, and they did trouble our defenders one or two times. But it's nice that we've come away with 3 points. I don't know if we completely deserved it. I think maybe they deserved the share, maybe because they had a couple of chances as well. But can't complain really. It's start of the season. You can't really pick out a lot. There's not a lot to analyze that will be true, 5, 6, 7 games since the season. But yeah, buzzing to get that one out of the way. We don't have to go back to Goodison Park now. So, what did you think of the game?
I thought, well, first of all, the lineup, the starting lineup. I think I predicted it, that exact team. So there was no surprise there. Overall thoughts, I'd say it wasn't as fluid as we're used to seeing from Chelsea. Chilwell came back. Chilwell doesn't look as in form as we're used to seeing him either. So he'll need some time, I guess, to fully integrate again. Sterling was fabulous. I really enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, he looked like a standout player. Like, overall the performance was below average. I'd say. I don't think there was a lot of good football being played, and that could be down to early season form or whatever. But like, every time he got the ball, every time he was receiving, or the ball was played into him, you sort of sense that he was going to be the one that would lead us to scoring or to sort of creating chances. So
Yeah,
like
he'd get the ball and I'd be like, oh, he can, like, someone can do something with the ball and make it threatening and not just pass sideways or
yeah,
something.
we said the same thing. Is that like we've not felt like this about a footballer since Hazard.
Yeah,
Like sort of just one player that can pick up the ball and make something out of it from nothing. And I think he did that a couple of times. Just sort of had a couple of tricks up his sleeve and beat his player 1v1. And it's nice when you have those sort of players. Gives you more opportunities to win games, obviously, but unfortunately, none of his playmaking really came. Sort of became nothing came of it, basically. So, but I'm sure that will change. He's gonna be a big player for us this season.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think my overriding feeling about everything, not just because it's an early season game. I think I said it last season as well. I think that this system, this 3-4-3 system, um, is it's a great system when when you're playing counter attacking football, and I don't think that changed much today either. I think when you're not planning on having the ball and possession, it's a great system because you can really sort of counter against like most teams. Your wing backs can stretch teams out on the counter, and then you got your three creative players or attacking players in the middle, and then sort of you can sort of continue making chances. But when you're in possession on the ball, having that one less player in midfield really, I feel, really affects um, the flow of our game. And it felt a lot last season like we didn't really have a plan. We didn't really know what we were doing in possession. It just felt like passing for the sake of passing. We didn't have any trademark sort of chance creation. And when you look at Man City and when you look at Liverpool, you can see that they're focused on getting the ball wide and trying to sort of create overloads and make through passes and try and knock the ball to the penalty spot and find 2-3 players in there. But for us, it's like we don't do that. When we do it, it's not doesn't really nothing really comes off it. Normally they're like long diagonal crosses, which okay, they're okay sometimes, but when you're constantly attacking, when you're constantly trying to attack an opponent's box, it's you need to find better ways of getting closer to the box. I don't know if this makes sense, if any of this is making sense, but I feel like our attacking patterns are severely hampered by the system that we're playing. I think if we had that one extra midfielder, then the two midfielders can sort of join the attack as well and create a bit of balance between the fullbacks, the attacking players, and like between those two eights. So I think we're lacking that a bit at the moment, um, especially when we're in possession and when we turn over the ball and when the opponent wants to counter us, we look extremely vulnerable. Um, so I think that is something that we'll need to look out for in terms of a change. Do you have any thoughts on it? Because I don't know if
yeah.
I mean I feel like that was all a lot of waffle that could potentially make sense, but I don't know. It was
I,
just the way I saw it.
I was gonna say I don't know how I don't know if Tuchel also noticed that because I think there was a moment where Reece James started to join the midfield rather than staying out on the flank. He would come in, he even switched sides but he'd stay primarily in the midfield. But then he went back to his original position. So I don't know what was going on there. If that was something that Tuchel noticed that needed to be changed. What
Yeah,
do you think?
it was not that different from what we played last season, and if he doesn't change something, I feel like it's going to continue being this. This is how we win games through penalties, through set pieces, through deflections and second balls and stuff. So there's no real target that we're really hitting, kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's because of the players that we have in the box. Maybe I don't know. When I saw Broja today, who was he started on the bench, but he came on. It felt a lot more like okay, we have a striker that's making striker runs, which means the playmakers can essentially play make for him, and that's our direction. Then he runs into the channels, and then we get attacking players and wing backs into that. I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of potential for this team to actually have a good attacking strategy, but this system, I think, really doesn't allow us to do a whole lot with the ball. If we're getting 60, 70, 80% of possession on the ball during spells, it's all leading to nothing, because every time we get pressed, we go long. Every time we go long, we don't have players in the positions to actually take the second balls, because the fullbacks are either too sort of deep in our half, towards our half, and our attacking players aren't really that physical that they can actually win those balls. So I don't know. It looks like a bit of a mess. He's really going to have to sort it out, because it's a long season, but a couple of games, if we lose and if we do badly in, with a four at the back, but if we learn and if we sort of get better, I think long term it could be something that could really change around this whole stimulus about um our strikers not being able to do well. I don't think there's a curse. That I think that's it's stupid, because any club that has a striker, he's supposed to be the main threat. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have a striker that doesn't do the same. But it just feels at the moment like our attack just isn't built for that. I don't know what it's built for. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think when Broja came on, it felt a bit different for me. I mean, at least I felt he had a presence at the front. It'll be interesting to see how much more that changes as he gets more game time through his season. But I think the the play style, the role he's given, I think that will be important to us, and I think we should build on that.
Yeah,
as a team.
Yeah, there's that, and being linked to Frenkie De Jong recently, it just makes me think that Tuchel wants to take this another direction. I don't think Frenkie De Jong and any of our midfielders really would suit the 3-4-3 anyway. When you think of the 3-4-3, you think of which players have played it successfully. Matic, Kante, Fabregas, not really. I can't think of many players that have really taken to that system without them being serious counter-attacking players. So yeah, I hope there is change. I hope because we have so many players that are suited to the four at the back system, maybe that will kind of unlock a bit of attacking threat and talent. And yeah, if we do go for someone like Frenkie De Jong, what's stopping us from playing Jorginho, Kovacic, and De Jong in midfield? We can keep the same front three. It's just that with those three, I feel like we control the ball a lot better. Fullbacks can go up. Attacking players can be narrow, and I want to get onto Cucurella as well, because I think he showed us a lot of what we were missing. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. But yeah, what are the sort of observations you had about the game today?
Other than that, Thiago Silva is still absolute class.
Ridiculous, isn't he?
Yeah,
He doesn't age, the guy.
No, he doesn't. Honestly, the way he plays, I feel like he could continue another 5 years. Who knows?
He's 38, and he doesn't look like a player that's on the decline.
No,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo. I can't think of many other players that can sustain their physical condition to a point that their playing ability is not affected whatsoever. Crazy. So
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than Cucurella was well.
No, I don't want to talk about
that
Cucurella.
after.
That's
we
a
can
whole,
talk about that
that's
after.
a whole 10-minute segment that I need. But jeez, yeah.
Ruben did he play wing back again, or
he came on for Chilwell.
He came for Chilwell.
Yeah.
I
Reece
think
James went to left back. Left wing back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, as in, what are the things that stood out to you today? What were your sort of things that you were impressed with?
It was mainly Sterling. I really enjoyed watching Sterling today. Thiago Silva's display.
Yeah. Mendy made a great save first half.
Yeah, he made a fantastic save.
Hopefully, this is the start of a comeback for him, because he was shocking last year.
I felt like I didn't notice Mason as much in the game as I'm used to seeing.
Mason was quiet. Yeah.
Havertz, it feels very awkward to watch him. I don't know. I just don't think he's having that sort of impact that we know he could have as a player, because he's very talented. There's no doubt about it. But maybe this isn't the right position for him, or
I
sort
think
of
when you
role that
spend,
he's given.
sometimes I wonder if you spend this long trying to figure out what's best for a player,
Hmm.
they are probably not as good as you thought that they were. And it's harsh to say that, and it's hard to say it because I love Havertz. Um, I love his presence on the pitch. I think he's a very magnetic player. Like players are attracted to sort of wanting to be near him and trying to sort of knock him off his game. But um, when it comes down to it, it's a performance. It's a results based business, and I feel like he's not delivering on a level that is going to sustainably, consistently give us results. He feels like a bit of a waste at the moment. Like if you took Havertz out of the team today, and if you had put say Ousmane Dembele or Rafinha, you got two wide threats that are going to constantly be a threat. I said threat twice, but yeah, they're going to be a danger to the opposition. When you look at Kai, I never get the feeling. I don't know if you feel the same way. I never get the feeling like he's going 1v1 with anyone, or he's going to particularly um, affect the attack in the final third.
Yeah, I think he he's not demonstrated that sort of level that we had seen in the highlights, for example. When he was at Leverkusen, those sort of you know finishing or just passing. That I don't think that he's demonstrated that sort of level at Chelsea at
Yeah,
present.
why is that? Because now it's Lukaku, it's Morata, it's Higuain, it's like any attacking striker, centre forward sort of player. Well, I'm blanking on why it doesn't work out. I don't get it. And Morata, I think, is a bit harsh because I think Morata was actually, despite all his misses, I think he was actually the only one that was constantly making attacking runs and good runs that was getting him in scoring positions.
Mhm.
Um, I just think he lacked that bit of bite, and I think his mentally, I think he was a bit away from the game a lot of the time. But it's like Costa and Drogba, like they breathe that position. It's like they're there, and they're there, and you know that if you like blink for even a second, they're off, and they're going to put you 6 feet under, basically.
But
So
I think Havertz is different in that sense. I feel like he's more of like a ghost, not in the bad way, in that you're not,
as in he doesn't show up.
as in the sense you don't know where he is and he comes out of nowhere. Like, I just feel he's very cloak and dagger. Is that the way to describe it?
I don't know. I
Um,
don't speak whatever that was.
but no,
Were you trying to say Guten Tag?
Guten Tag. No,
No,
I
do you
just feel he
think
comes out of nowhere. You don't expect him when he comes, and that's when he's most threatening.
there's a difference? I mean, there is a difference, but like, what do you think of him potentially being more suited to a counter-attacking team as opposed to a possession-based team? Like, do you think there's anything in that kind of that we're sort of missing?
I think I don't think that he'll be as helpful in a counter-attacking team. Do
You
you?
say that, but I think his best form, I think for us, has come between January and June 2021,
Hmm.
right? The Champions League winning year. During that time, we were a team that weren't possession based. We were fast build up. We were moving the ball quickly from one point to the other on the ground, but still. And even if you remember, like the Champions League final goal, the build up for that was literally Chilwell to Mount on the halfway line, and Mount sprayed a pass forward like a vertical pass, and Havertz was running onto it, and he had that space in behind because City gave him that space in behind. Similar to Werner, I feel like there's something in that. I think that's where he actually excels in a deep block. And it might be naive to say this because I've seen clips of him like at Leverkusen where he's like absolutely bossed the low block. But it seems like in England you just can't hack the tempo of playing that system. So I don't know how he's going to actually be effective for us. Like, so we're linked with Aubameyang.
Hmm.
With Aubameyang, you know that he's a great counter-attacking based player, as well as being a type of player that you can put in the box, hit the ball to him, and he'll ping it back at the back in the back of the net. Like he's just one of those sort of strikers. Are we hoping for too much from Havertz, or do you think that he's producing enough to justify his place in the team right now?
When I said, I don't see him being as helpful in counter-attacking, do you think that Dembele or Rafinha would not give something more than a Havertz would? Do you not
Well,
think
they
that
play
they would?
wide,
Yeah.
so
Don't you think they would be more useful in a counter-attack, like a Pulisic or even Hudson-Odoi?
no, I'm
Wouldn't
saying
you rather have them on than
they
Havertz?
both play they're both very good in the possession based systems.
Mhm.
Like Leeds and Barcelona, as far apart as they are, they're also very similar in terms of their methodology of attacking or of possession based football. So they know that, they know how to play that.
Yeah.
So they would both naturally be more effective. What should we expect from Havertz if it's not this? Like, what do we do with him? I'm failing to see what we would do with
Yeah.
him.
Because today I felt that, I'd rather have Pulisic on than Havertz,
It felt that way, yeah.
which is
But then
strange.
again, Pulisic came on when we were deep in our half and we had the space in behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, I'm trying to understand more about the system. So, okay, I think it's worth maybe getting onto Cucurella
Mhm.
for this reason. So he came on in the second half. Obviously, we signed Cucurella for 62 million. Um, in my opinion, one of the best left backs in the league now. And I think he showed us exactly what we were missing in the fullback position. The he looks like the sole reason why we play wing backs and not left backs,
Mhm.
because I don't think we had a left back that was good enough to play left back. They were all only good enough to play wing back. But as long as they had protection behind them,
Yeah,
they were good.
Chilwell included.
Chilwell, Alonso, Emerson.
You don't think they could play? You don't think Chilwell or Emerson could play left back?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I remember Emerson, at least under Sarri, he was
Yeah,
excellent at left back.
but to what level? That's what I'm
I
trying to say.
think to a
When
quite
you're
high
trying to win
degree.
the league,
Yeah.
is Chilwell a league winning left back? We don't know yet
Hmm.
because he hasn't done it.
Okay.
But Cucurella, to me, I was blown away. I already knew what the guy could do, but to see him in a Chelsea team, it just showed me everything. The same way I feel about Reece. Reece is exactly, he's the exact type of player you would put in a back four, and you'd trust him going forward and coming back as
Yeah, you
well.
wouldn't have any doubts about them on the ball or without the ball.
It feels like, in a similar way to City and Liverpool, who have Trent and Robertson, and City have Walker and, say, Cancelo, we seem to have got the next top class fullback pairing. And I think fullbacks, obviously, we've discussed this so many times, they're so important in today's game. So to see Cucurella, his technique, weight of pass, angles that he was passing, his range, the speed, just everything about him was electric. Like it felt like that sort of player could only come from Barcelona's academy, which he did. He came from La Masia. So like for something that we've never seen before, to see it in a Chelsea team was extremely refreshing. So yeah, what did you make of his performance?
I thought he was very. How would you say it? He's very switched on. Very switched on. His decision making in very small spaces of time was excellent. The passing, uh, cross. Yeah, he pulled a few crosses as well that were excellent. I think he gave one to Sterling, which was really close to being a goal as well. Um, Other than that, yeah, he was impressive, but I would want to see more of what he can do because I think he will be quite integral to this Chelsea team, and yeah, I think that he
Yeah,
will bring something different to us.
I think he'll be important because it helps with also allowing Chilwell to rest properly and not overloading him with, high volume of fixtures and all that. So
Mhm.
naturally we needed a good left wing back to ensure that happens, because Alonso and Emerson are obviously, they're not good enough. It's as nice as they are, and as loyal and respectful as they've been as players. I don't think they're good enough to play for us anymore. And I think the pairing of the having Chilwell and Cucurella ensures that we have high quality left side, along with obviously Sterling ahead of him and whoever else plays there. But it's a positive sign, and I know people raise their eyebrows like the £62 million price tag. But for £62 million, I think we've signed a potential world class left back, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't care less what people think about his price tag. It's, at the end of the day, business is business. It's about demand. It's about putting, Brighton can put up their price or whatever. But at the end of the day, we've got ourselves a world class left back, in my opinion. So, yeah, like you, I'm just looking forward to seeing more of him. Yeah.
I think we should also note that the fact that we haven't mentioned Koulibaly's performance, like his debut, must mean that he's done really well, that we don't even need to talk about it.
Immense.
Which is exactly what we expected.
Koulibaly felt like Rudiger was never gone. Like the composure and just not having any drama in that position.
Yeah.
It felt like, oh right, forgot Rudiger's not here anymore.
Yeah.
It just felt like he slipped into that role beautifully. And he's got such a presence about him as well.
It's great that he'll be able to partner up with Thiago Silva as well. What a pairing!
Immense.
What a pairing!
And like we said, I pray we sign Fofana, because that is unbelievable back three.
Mm-hmm.
Fofana, Silva, Koulibaly, unbelievable.
100%.
Just knowing that he'd be literally absorbing everything. All his education can come from Silva and Koulibaly. How to train and how to pick himself up, how to be a leader, how to stay composed in difficult moments and all that. It's
being vocal from the back as well. Like, you can see Thiago Silva shouting at everyone for this and that, and
it's education. It's a high class education. It's like going to Harvard. If you want to study something, it's literally the best you can possibly get. I don't know if Harvard's the best anymore, but that's all I know at the moment. Yeah, like, it's a bit of youthful energy, but at the same time, that he'd be learning from the best. So, yeah. What would you think of Fofana potentially signing?
That would be, I'd be so happy. I'd be over the moon. I think that would be, as great as this transfer window has already been going for us. I think this would be very complete as a transfer window for us, in terms of getting the players in that we really needed, because we've obviously lost a few players.
So if Fofana comes in, that means we've got Fofana, Koulibaly, Silva, Aspi, Chalobah. We can have Reece and Cucurella play their, the wider roles as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we can play forward at the back. So we have different variations of everything. Now that Ruben, is, looks like he can actually play that role properly, I don't think we need to sign a right back. No. Hudson-Odoi can play wing back.
Yeah.
Azpilicueta can play right back.
What's happened with Kennedy? Is he still with us, or have we loaned him out or sold him?
I have no idea. Okay. I just don't think there's any space for him. I don't think there's any space for average players anymore.
I quite liked him.
No, he's really good
during pre-season.
He's really good. I just think that when you look at what Tuchel has done with Chilwell and Cucurella, I think he needs to do that with every position. Mm-hmm. And I think having Broja and Havertz also amplifies that. Is that we need two players for each position competing against each other on a high level.
Yeah.
And I think that's, not having Kennedy is completely fine with me. As good as he is, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, he's a quality player, but it's night and day when you look at the quality that we should have and what we do have right now.
Yeah.
So unless they're an upgrade, no point staying. Tuchel said that we're looking at signing a few players. He didn't just say one or two. So I'm guessing that's Fofana, De Jong, and I think we'll push for Aubameyang, because I think he might want another striker. Ideally, I would have liked another attacker, like someone like Rafael Leao or something. Someone with a bit of magic like Sterling.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of that? What do you think of?
I think having someone who will finish for us will be more important than having someone who's creative.
You think we have enough creative players?
Yeah, we have plenty. Pulisic for me is creative. Sterling's creative. Hudson-Odoi is creative. Mount is also, he has great moments where he's really creative. So I think we're quite fine in terms of creation. Even Ziyech is there. We'll have to see with Ziyech if he's staying. But otherwise, no. For Frenkie De Jong, interesting. I'm not fully sold on how much of an impact he'll have in a team where we have Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante.
I think we'll see. Personally speaking, on De Jong, just to cover that one, I think we'll see the best of him if we change system.
Yeah,
that's when he really is at his best.
Yeah, but I think the whole team will change then. I mean, I think it will be fantastic if we change to a back four either way. So it would be interesting to see what impact he would bring if he does come.
Absolutely.
And Fofana, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Fofana?
Yeah, Fofana. We've already touched up on that. So yeah, no, that would be an amazing signing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I was wondering thoughts for next match. We have a Tottenham, don't we?
We have
home or away?
Tottenham. I think we're at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched them against Southampton today, and Southampton was shocking. Like shocking. Like they look like relegation battlers.
But they always have those matches, don't they? Like through the season, and then they'll do well for quite a bit.
It's worse now.
Yeah,
it's worse now. And I genuinely fear for them because they don't have as far as I'm like, they don't have a goal scorer that I could see. They've lost Broja, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really know where they're getting their goals from, and their defense is as bad as it was, if not worse than last year. So for them to play against Tottenham, it was a complete mismatch. Saying that though, James Ward-Prowse opened the scoring for them, but from then on it was all Tottenham. They were just ruthless, and that's exactly what you would expect from an Antonio Conte side. Going into the game next week, I'm not too concerned, honestly. I mean, I thought it would be a lot better than what I saw, even though they did put 4 past Southampton. But I don't know. We seem to always show up in these big games for some reason. Like we'll do crap against a bottom 5 team, and then we'll show up for Liverpool away for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Tottenham didn't feel as cold and ruthless as I thought that they would. Against Southampton, they could have easily got 6-7 if they wanted. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I think everyone's signed a lot of players, and that I think everyone's trying to get it all together. So I think they're probably at the same place as us at the moment. But I think we just have that bit of quality with Sterling now added to it that I think will probably see us through.
Yeah.
Famous last words, but yeah, it's feel quite confident about it.
Do you think the display that Cucurella showed, do you think that he would start next match?
I think he has to.
Yeah.
I think there's no. I feel bad because every time he touched the ball, my heart literally like pained so hard for Chilwell because it just felt like, wow, there is a serious difference in quality over here. And, I'm not one of those people that say, oh, every signing is going to be a game changer and they're going to, they're better than everything that we've got and all this kind of stuff. But you could just, it was so obvious how much of a gulf in quality. And I don't know if that's because, well, no, I can't even blame Chilwell's injury because even Chilwell pre-injury, he was not this level. He was not Cucurella's level. It's just different. Like Cucurella's built different. Just different. And it's, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Chilwell because eventually he's going to get back to 100%. I have no doubt about it. Like, I mean, doing an ACL young on is a lot better than doing it, in your mid-20s or whatever. So, it's interesting to see where it goes. But I think Cucurella has to start if we're serious about winning,
mm-hmm.
and we keep politics out of it. Cucurella starts 38 games out of 38. He has to. Obviously not now, but yeah, 37 out of 37. Yeah. So, yeah. What about you?
I think that he should start. I don't think Chilwell is fully informed for one thing, and Cucurella seems to. He impressed me quite heavily.
It's
already.
crazy. It's crazy how much we've talked about a left back. It's one of the most not untalked about positions, but we can talk about Cucurella for so long.
I mean, we've had Marcus Alonso for so long, and then when Chilwell came in, we were very impressed with him.
What are you trying to say about Marcus Alonso?
Oh, nothing bad about
Chelsea
him.
legend,
of course. Oh yeah, okay, cool. We've got that clip.
I can say that now that he's going.
He's still a Chelsea player right now. You said it whilst he's a Chelsea player.
Yeah, technically. Yeah. No, but it is really nice to see that, and I hope we have the same level of mentality to create a whole squad of these kind of this level of quality, basically. Yeah. So what do you think about going into Tottenham? Not Tottenham, but like the team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go into Tottenham anytime. I'm joking.
No, we're probably going to stick with our formation 3-4-3 if I would. Yeah, that's what I predict Tuchel will stick to. I think. Do you see much variation in the squad? Like our starting lineup?
Breaking news, exclusive from the one and the only Fabrizio Romano. Callum Hudson-Odoi has asked to leave on loan.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he was left out of the squad today. I think that's a great move for him. He has to get minutes, and it should have been done 3-4 years ago. I don't know why it's taken 3-4 years, 5 years since his debut for him to get a loan, to get regular minutes. But what do you think of this?
It's good. I mean, I want to see him get regular minutes because he needs to. Do you
think there's an actual talent in there?
There's no doubt about it, no doubt. But it's just been a shame because of injuries and lots of things. He's just hasn't had the chance to have full run at it, and every time he looks like he's getting close to that sort of level that we knew when he had his first like proper season, alongside Hazard, where he was exceptional. He just hasn't been at that level, I'd say, as yet. So I really want to see him get to even that level. I know he could go further than that, but that level itself was, super.
Yeah, would really like to see him play on the wing for someone, for Leicester or for Southampton, is what is being rumoured.
Southampton, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester would probably be a better shout, but then they have Harvey Barnes, so I don't know. It's he'll have to get the right team, but there's a real player in there. But whether we'll see it at Chelsea, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, we can discuss that another time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens with it. Everything's going on at the moment, so we got less than a month until deadline day approaches. So,
do you think Havertz starts next game again?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he'll start with Broja.
No, not necessarily Broja. Maybe Pulisic starts.
It's a very small front line if that occurs. I don't know. I mean, we're playing a lot of long balls, so I'm guessing Havertz starts, but who knows? Who knows with Tuchel anymore, man? He cooks things up. He gets 3 points. That's all that matters. But we move.
All right.
Yeah. I didn't ask you about Tottenham. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
I have no idea. If I'm being honest, I have no idea. I mean, we have a record of winning against them, so
a decent record of winning.
I'd go with that.
Yeah, it's a good start.
But they look very strong. Did Perisic play this?
He came on second half. Sessegnon did bits.
Okay.
He was very good.
But yeah, Perisic is lethal in my opinion.
Yeah, he's different level. Once he gets integrated into this team, nothing like it.
So maybe it's good that we're playing against them early, so we get the head start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how fluid they looked. I didn't really watch their game or anything. But we from what I saw, I think that we looked quite threatening. We just needed a bit more cohesion. Who knows, maybe in 1 week we could get there.
We got to dominate the ball and we've got to be clinical.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only way you beat Tottenham. And we've done that for the most part.
Yeah.
Just got to do it again.
Midfield's the same. Defense, okay, it's a bit different.
Tottenham?
not ours.
Oh yeah.
Ours is a bit different. We got Sterling now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I mean, we've shown that we can dominate the ball. So we
Yeah.
just have to do it again. That's all. It's not difficult to beat Tottenham. I know that sounds stupid, but they really are one of the easiest top sides that we play every single year. And
it's a shame Marcus Alonso is leaving. The pure fear factor that he brings to other teams.
the fear factor, the Marcus Alonso fear factor. I'm so glad I won't have to hear that again. God, oh my God, I can rest comfortably now.
So many years he thought he'd leave.
I'm not.
This season, that season.
He's a legend. I don't want to talk about it. He's a legend. Let legends live. One's the blue, always the blue. All of that jazz.
Love him.
All right. Should we cut it?
Yeah.
I think that's enough talked about Tottenham and Everton and Marcus Alonso. All right, we'll do one. We'll do another one next week after Tottenham. Hopefully, after we get all 3 points, Havertz scores a hat trick, Sterling gets a brace, and hopefully Cucurella snaps Harry Kane. I don't wish badly on anyone except for Tottenham. Have a good one, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.